Joining me right now is New York Congresswoman, member of the House Ways and Means Committee, and the Republican Conference Assistant Whip, Nicole Malliotakis. Congresswoman, it's always a pleasure. Good to see you. What are your expectations in terms of what gets done with the debt ceiling negotiations, and how long will this take? We're, a week and a half away from running out of money?
Well, I'm hopeful that we can have a deal, and I have confidence that Speaker McCarthy will get us the best deal possible. Remember, Democrats were in charge in December when they chose to add another $1.2 trillion in spending. Secretary Yellen came before my committee saying they knew very well that they were going to hit the debt limit, and yet they continued to spend that money, and they did not raise the debt limit. They knew very well also that Republicans were coming in January, so if they didn't want to negotiate, they should have done it then on their own. Here we are now. We are getting some I think, real fiscal responsibility for the American people. We cannot continue on the path that we're on, $32 trillion and ticking, $250,000 per American taxpayer. We can't, look, we got to pay our bills, but we also need to set ourselves on a trajectory of fiscal responsibility here, and that's exactly what the House Republicans' plan does. We passed it, and the Senate has done nothing. They have not passed anything. So if they don't like our plan, they should do something. If it's a clean debt limit, then pass that. But so far, we haven't seen anything from Senator Schumer. So we've been the only responsible adults in the room saying, let's pay our bills and let's move forward, being fiscally responsible, claw back that COVID money. Let's implement work requirements for individuals. If you're under 55 years old, no children, no disabilities, you can contribute to our society and help produce 20 hours a week. And also, let's claw back those excessive Green New Deal tax credits. The president's now saying he wants to raise taxes on the wealthy. Well, look, 90% of those Green New Deal tax credits are going to companies that make $1 billion or more, many of them going to banks and insurance companies. So let's start with that.
Yeah, I understand, but the president says that he will agree to spending cuts as long as there's revenue raise, suggesting he wants to raise taxes again. Would you be poised to support a tax increase?
No, what we should do is eliminate some of those tax credits. As I said, these Green New Deal tax credits worth hundreds of billions of dollars that they put in place, with that money even being allowed to go to companies owned by in communist China. Let's claw back the tens of billions of dollars in COVID money that's not being used. There's a lot of areas where we can claw back spending instead of looking to hammer people during a tough economy. I think that's the approach that we are committed to. And again, let's see that Senator Schumer do something in the Senate, because he hasn't done anything on this. He hasn't done anything on the migrant crisis. You've only seen the House Republicans act. And we need a partner in government. That's the reality.
Let's talk about the main event in New York right now and your constituents. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is calling on the White House to equally distribute migrants to every city in the country. We've got more busloads of migrants arriving in Midtown Manhattan over the weekend, Congresswoman, and I know that some of those people are being sent to suburbs of New York right now. What's going on? What can you tell us about where these people are going and what kind of benefits they're getting?
Yeah, look, this is another area where House Republicans have taken action. We passed a border security bill. We passed something that would streamline the asylum process, that would actually increase some work visas. And we've seen the Senate take zero action. We don't have a partner over there in the House being run by Chuck Schumer. I think that the mayor needs to stop making New York City a sanctuary city. They need to start telling the president to secure the border. This was a crisis that the president created unilaterally with executive order, rolling back the policies that were in place that were stemming the flow that President Trump had put in place, and we need to get back to those policies that were working. 2/3 of individuals coming and claiming asylum are not legitimate asylum seekers, according to the court data that we saw for the past year. So what we need to do is tell the mayor to stop misinterpreting New York City's right to shelter law. It was meant for homeless New Yorkers, not for citizens of other countries who strolled over our border last week. That, coupled with border security policy that the House put forward, would resolve this problem.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like half of the hotels in New York City are actually housing migrants. I mean, are there plans? What are we going to do with all of these migrants? They're taking up hotels. Meanwhile, the U.S. Census is showing more than 400,000 people moved out of New York City between 2020 and 2022. Florida, on the other hand, gained more than 600,000 people over those 2 years, Congresswoman. So between the migrants and all the other issues in New York, people are leaving revenue holes for sure.
Yeah, the taxpayers are tired of being abused. We are being abused by our mayor, by our governor, and that is why they are leaving New York. You saw a vast majority of Republicans, independents, and even 40% Democrats saying they're unhappy with the direction of New York. Let's reverse it. Let's get back to normal policy.
Congresswoman, we're going to be watching it. Thanks very much, Nicole Malliotakis.